Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'm Laura.
I'm Cecilia.
And this is the Yarn Mews podcast.
It is. We're back again.
We're back again. Before we go much further, just want to say right out there in front that we are going to be taking a month break after this because she's traveling, then I'm traveling, and the holiday, the Labor Day is in there in the middle, so it just doesn't work out. We always film this on Monday, and we're not going to be here together on a Monday for, until I think, let me think, like the 14th or 15th, whatever day that is of September. So, sorry, this is all you get for a while.
Yep.
Which gives more people time to comment on this episode.
That's right.
In order to win our prize.
Win the fabulous prize.
So there you go.
Always good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so where are you going?
I am going to Providence, Rhode Island. Charles and I, that's my husband. I think I've probably mentioned him many times.
Yeah, maybe once or twice. Hi, Charles.
Hi, Charles. He watches, so.
He does.
He's a good husband.
Unlike
some husbands who don't support their wives by watching a podcast.
Whatever.
Anyway.
He cooks for me, so, it's all good.
Yeah, mine cooks for me, too.
Oh, dang. Okay, well, you're right.
So anyway, there is a writer called H.P. Lovecraft. He is kind of he wrote weird tales is what they call them, but they're kind of strange, odd, from the 20s.
Aren't they science fiction-y?
No, they're more horror. It's more of a, I consider them kind of like the precursor to modern horror because there's a lot of psychological elements to it.
Kind of thriller kind of elements.
Yeah, well, it's kind of this thing of, one of his big things is things man was not meant to know. And so then it causes madness and, these type of things. So it has a lot of psychological things that are going on even before it wasn't really like psychology was.
You know what I forgot to do for our podcast?
Get the prices?
No, put the microphone in.
Uh-oh.
I wonder if this is being loud enough.
Hope so.
Okay, pause for
Hold
just
on.
a second. I'm going to put the microphone in. All right, we're back.
Okay.
Well, that was interesting.
Yes, very exciting.
It took a long time to get my new phone out of the new case in order to put the microphone in.
So hopefully it's worth it.
Yeah, no kidding.
So anyway, I was talking about H.P. Lovecraft. And people who maybe watch horror films or have seen Evil Dead will recognize this name. No. H.P. Lovecraft created a book called the Necronomicon. He did not write a book called that. He just would reference it. And that is the Book of the Dead, and that's the book that opens the gates of hell and Evil Dead. So, but this
sounds like a zombie thing.
No, they're demons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's the dead part is that it kills people and then it uses their corpses. It's fairly gruesome. I mean, if you're not into horror, don't watch Evil Dead. Hey.
No thanks.
Anyway, we are going to a convention called the Necronomicon. So, this word convention. And there are going to be people discussing H.P. Lovecraft and other weird tale authors like August Derf and various other people. There's going to be horror writers there. Paul Tremblay, he wrote a book that came out a couple years ago called Head Full of Ghosts, which I read this summer, which is awesome.
Was that on your book bingo card?
Yes, it was.
Oh, you're so lucky.
I was very excited because I had horror. Like, yes. And
Well, I'll come to you when I get that next year.
Yeah.
Right?
And anyway, and there's going to be events going on. There's going to be movies being screened.
And there's a costume ball.
There is a costume ball, which I am going to attend. Yesterday I went over to Shelley's because I found a pattern from 1927. Written as patterns in 1927 were written. It's a variation of the 1 hour dress, which apparently was a dress that was published in like a newspaper. They said, here's how you can make a dress in an hour.
Is it gonna take you an hour?
Well, we did the muslin in a little over an hour. So if from 1920s when it was done, you would have known all the things they were referring to. So yeah, it would have been, yeah, you know, they probably wouldn't have had any problems doing it in an hour back then. But anyway, it's a flappery dress. It's going to be gorgeous. I will post a picture when we come back. So I am very excited.
Cecilia and I are going to SR Harris this afternoon to look at fabric.
Yay, fabric.
Sorry, Treadle, but we've never been to SR Harris.
Yeah.
So,
And, you know, they got a ton of, you know, fancy fabric.
yeah.
So, and it's discounted, which is kind of what I need because I need a lot of it. You know?
Is all their fabrics, are all their fabrics discounted?
Mhm.
Are they like mill-ins or something like that, or
I have no
where are they
idea.
discounted?
I don't know. We could ask
Interesting.
them when we go down there. I assume it's probably like leftovers or, you know,
Yeah.
when they have extra that don't sell, sort of like when you go to the discount books or when you go to Barnes and Noble and they've got all those
Yeah.
books that are, you know,
Right, okay, cool.
I assume it's something like that.
I was going to bring a few patterns today with what I'm looking for, and I completely forgot them at home, but luckily most of them are indie patterns. I can look them up online.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I'm very excited, and we're gonna go to the ball, and we're gonna go to the Cthulhu prayer breakfast.
Did he create Cthulhu?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I do know what a Cthulhu is. I
Yes.
actually crocheted one when I was in my amigurumi phase.
Yes, that is H.P. Lovecraft. So, if you're on Ravelry, you've probably seen it too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So it'll be very exciting. He spent most of his life in Providence. He's buried there. We'll probably go to the cemetery and see his tomb because we're going to be there.
They're
for
such nerds. I just have to say it. I mean, I'm nerdy about certain things too, but
Oh yeah,
that's such a nerdy thing to do.
it is.
So,
What?
I don't know if, do you ever watch Queer Eye?
I used to watch the old one. I've not
Yeah,
watched the
Queer Eye
new
from
one.
Straight Guy.
Yeah.
So, the newer version is like their third season or whatever, and they were helping this guy, this last episode that I watched, and he is young. I think he's in his early 20s, and his mom died when he was a teenager, and he kind of barricaded himself in his room, basically. Not really. I mean, he went to,
Yeah.
he's in school, and he has a job and stuff like that, but when he's not working or going to school, he's in his room playing video games, and
Yeah.
you know, and so they were trying to get him out, and he's very shy, and they took him to a Japanese culture / anime gathering
Oh.
in his town. And
Nice.
sure enough, you know, that those were his people. you
Yeah.
know? And it's kind of like knitters, right?
Mhm.
Or crocheters or whatever. We're your people. We
Yeah.
understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Find your people.
And Cecilia's going to be with her people.
Yes, I am.
Some other
people.
outside of the knitting world.
Yes. So
Although I bet you there will be another knitter or two there.
probably there'll be somebody. Yeah. You know, I have faith.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it'll be awesome, and I'm very excited. And I've never been to Providence, so you know that'll be fun too.
Yeah.
But the other thing about the cemetery I have to mention,
Oh.
because I found this out when I was on Providence, it was one of their visiting websites. It is the cemetery where Edgar Allan Poe, at the ripe old age of like 17 or 18, proposed to his girlfriend. She said no.
Probably because it was in a cemetery.
But it's like, oh, Edgar, what were you thinking? Come on. This is not romantic, you know? But yeah, so there's
They're
that.
the first goths.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I thought that was hilarious.
That is interesting. Funny. So I suppose we should talk about what we're working on, huh?
Probably.
Well, I can put my knitting down, and I'm not crocheting today because, first of all, I don't want to swear at the camera. Even though I didn't swear last time,
But
but I was really close. And secondly, because I realized in that episode that I hardly looked at the screen at all, or at the camera. And I just thought that that was kind of off-putting. So, sorry about that. Although Leslie did say she laughed when she saw the episodes. But here's what I've been working on. This is the shawl that I was trying to start last time.
It's gorgeous.
It's kind of cool. I am having to rip back a lot because I can't, for the life of me, for some reason, keep this center increase in line, even though I've got my little marker here. I don't know what the problem is. But anyway, there you go. And it's kind of intriguing because you actually take a size 11 knitting needle and these elongated stitches, I don't know if you can see them well, but you single crochet around your size 11 knitting needle to get them like that. It's a pain in the butt because you're trying to juggle this knitting needle and the crochet, but it has a cool effect.
It does. It's really cool.
And I can't remember for sure. I believe the shawl is called Nature Listens. I will put it in a little blurb up there, and then of course in the description I'll have a link to the pattern on Ravelry. We have kits for this. I didn't bring any of the kits over to the table, but the yarn is by Alexandra, the Art of Yarn, and the main color is called Black Butte. That's not the color, that's the yarn name,
yeah.
and it's the colorway is silver. And then these other ones are a variety of different mini skein, different types of mini skeins. Like one of them has a little sparkle in it. Neither of these two. I think it's the dark color has a little sparkle in it, and then some are the same Black Butte, and then some are the Black Butte has yak in it, and some of these mini skeins don't. So I don't remember what they're called, but
Yeah.
anyway, we have kits here in the store. So
They're fabulous.
yeah, and despite the fact that I'm having to rip out, I'm enjoying it. I wish I didn't have to keep ripping out because I can't, for some personal problem reason, I can't keep that center increase straight.
centered.
I'm not centered. I'm off kilter.
I think we already knew that.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. I am back. I brought the Henny shawl with me today because it was by the door. This is how far I've gotten. Haven't worked on it very much.
It's very nice though.
It is nice.
I kind of like those muted colors. I mean, they're not what I would personally pick, but I
Well,
think they're really pretty in that.
They're not what I would personally pick either because I need all the colors. I picked the brightest colors we had and put them in there.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah.
And I do think though it's very pretty.
And that's cotton cashmere, right?
Cotton cashmere. It's very soft
Roland.
and lovely.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm working on.
Cool.
Because I brought it with me yesterday when we went to go see the Fringe show we saw. There's this podcast we listen to by these three gentlemen here in the Twin Cities called Mysterious Old Radio Listening Program.
Because you
want it
wouldn't
really
have a
long.
longer name.
Yeah. But we actually knew about them beforehand because we'd seen them doing various productions in the Twin Cities. The one in particular we had seen do one-man shows at Fringe. They were H.P. Lovecraft stories. One that was spectacular was Rats in the Wall. But anyway, I digress. So they did their own radio programs yesterday of Frankenstein.
Oh,
So
that's kind of fun.
They wrote original programs in the style
Right.
of these old-time radio programs.
That's cool.
And
I
of
like
course, I listen to a lot of old-time radio programs, so
Mhm.
I recognized what they were making fun of and what, they
Yeah.
weren't, and it was awesome. They're very talented men, so if you're looking for a really fun podcast, I would recommend it. And
And what's the name of it again?
it is the Mysterious Old Time Radio Listening Podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's not even acronymical. I mean, you can't
No.
make an acronym out of it.
No,
I was trying to come up with a funny word for
It's really not.
I can't do it.
And it's one of the
Acronymable. That's it.
Yeah, it's one of the podcasts that Charles is a patron of, so he's considered a member in good standing.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
But yeah, they are very delightful, and you get to listen to old-time radio programs, and then they talk about them afterwards, and whether they liked it or whether it was. They have two qualifiers: does it stand the test of time, and is it a classic? Some stuff stands the test of time and is not a classic, and some are both. And some do not stand the test of time. There have been ones where we've listened to them, and then they're like, wow, were they patronizing to that lady?
Well, and we had this conversation before, and I don't remember if it was on the podcast, but comedy often does not stand the test of time because it's related to current events or politics or whatever. And so it often doesn't stand the test of time. But, drama.
Often, there's a lot of them that very much so are. They're because they do quite a few little kind of horror ones or suspense ones. And some of them, even today, are like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So you're sitting there listening on the edge of your seat kind of thing. And so, but some of them do not. And again, some of them are incredibly patronizing to women.
Or racist, they're.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to watch the Arguing We're Little Rascals videos when my kids were little. I mean, they loved them. They still like them. And there were some that were really racist.
Yeah.
Really, really racist. So.
Yeah. I have to say I never liked Arguing.
Yeah.
They grated on me. So.
Yeah.
But then again, I never watched the Three Stooges, and I can just barely tolerate the Marx Brothers.
Yeah.
And to me, they're probably the best of the whole bunch,
Yeah. And I didn't really like the Marx Brothers much. And Three Stooges just annoyed me because it was always just there was too much picking on each other. And
yeah,
I didn't like that.
No.
I was going to ask you how your book bingo's going.
Well, it's going pretty good. Over the weekend, I finished a Terry Pratchett book that I was going to put under...
That's funny, I read a Terry Pratchett book, too.
Yeah, I love Terry Pratchett. He's awesome. I was going to put under a mythological creature on the cover, but I think I found a different book for that, so I think I'm going to use his footnotes.
Because Terry Pratchett
uses footnotes.
That's what mine was for, too. Was uses footnotes.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do.
That's good.
Yeah.
I started the Crucible over the weekend, and I have 3 categories of books. I've got the ones I listen to on Audible. I listen to them in my car on the way to and from work because I have a 25-minute drive.
Yeah.
I have the ones I read in a physical book version, paperback or hardcover. I usually get those from the library. And then I have ones that I read on my Kindle. And the Kindle one is to read if I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't want to wake up my husband, or he's already gone to sleep, so I read on the Kindle, or if I'm traveling and don't want to carry a book with me. I started the Crucible on Kindle. Mm-hmm. And first of all, I picked a version that had a really long introduction, which was interesting, but whoever's writing the introduction, I don't know. I'll have to go back and see. It didn't have a signature at the end of the introduction, so I don't know. I'll have to go look in the info on Kindle. But he was very wordy and uses these big words that even I don't know. I mean, I can understand what the general meaning is, and so I just go past them usually. Yeah. Sometimes I have to look them up. I'm like, really? I really dislike that. It annoys me. It's kind of like a professor who thinks too much of themselves or something. I don't know. It just annoys me.
That's probably who wrote the introduction.
Well, and then the play starts, right?
Yeah.
And the play is going along, and then there are these little parts in between. that gives some description. I think it's the same guy who wrote the introduction. At first I thought it was Arthur Miller giving some background information to the actors and stuff.
Oh, but no.
But I don't think so, because one of the last ones of these I read said, and every time this production has been shown, nobody laughs at this line. And I'm like,
Oh, well, he wouldn't say that.
Arthur Miller wouldn't say that.
No.
So, and it, sure enough, the language is just like the guy who wrote the introduction. It kind of, I
I
mean,
think you might need a different version.
I don't know. I think I'm just going to finish it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Just skip over those parts.
Yeah, I don't know, because there is some good
Good
historical
information. Yeah.
information in there that's interesting. Just when he gets on his high horse, I'm going to have to just skip over that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's all about the Salem witch trials, and it was the Crucible was written during the McCarthy era.
Yep.
So there's a lot of similarities between the Salem witch trials and McCarthyism. So that's kind of intriguing to me. You know? So, yep.
Yeah, I read The Crucible in college.
The square for this one is something you should have read in high school or college but didn't.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm reading it.
Yeah, that would be about, the
Yeah.
time. Why, I read it for a class. I did.
Well, that's what I think they were talking about
Yeah.
with the square, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I did a theater class. And we did The Crucible. We did several things, but I remember The Crucible. That and we did an Ibsen play about some housewife.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one.
See, I could have put the Lord of the Flies in that square, but I used that for a different square, which of course I can't remember which square it was at this point. But that was good. I enjoyed that.
It's a good book.
But I'm behind Cecilia.
Yay!
I don't know.
That's so
I'm almost
exciting.
done with another book, and then Crucible isn't very long, so I should be done with that soon.
Well, I'm
And
almost
you know,
done
at
with my
some
book
point,
here.
you should read, and you could save this for another summer when you have nonfiction based in your state.
Oh, yeah.
Wishing for a Snow Day by Peg Meyer, and I talked about her on this before.
Yeah.
She was a journalist here in the Twin Cities, and she just did several different collections. The other one was something about heading to the cabin or something like that. But this one's about children in Minnesota, and it's kind of fun
That
and interesting.
sounds
It
good.
goes from the early 1800s through like the 1960s, 70s. So you get all sorts of interesting
Fun.
things. Like right now I'm reading about the holidays, so they had different excerpts from diaries and letters and stuff about Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the book I'm reading here at work is called The Inconvenient Indian, and it's for a Canadian author, because he lives in Canada now, although he's originally from the United
Is it
States.
Sherman Oaksey?
No,
Oh.
no, his name is Thomas King, and it's kind of an essay, for lack of a better word. I think that's what I would call it. It's not, it's one big essay about kind of the history of whites and natives in North America, because he does Canada and the United States, and basically it's incredibly depressing. So, but I want to say he's Cherokee, but I might have got that wrong. So, but it's interesting. It's just depressing,
Yeah.
because we suck.
I'm also reading or listening to Never Let Me Go by, I can't remember the name. It's
That's
Kishiro or something like that.
That's the guy who did Remains of the Day.
Yeah. And I'm really enjoying it. It's very creepy and disturbing, and the square is for speculative fiction.
Yeah,
It's very good.
I would cover it.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, I'm going to have to watch the movie, which I'm watching I read The Leftovers earlier this summer for one of my squares. The book that's been on my to-be-read list for the longest. And I'm watching the HBO series now on that. It's very different from the book. It's not comedic at all, and there was a lot of comedic stuff in the book. So
Yeah.
yeah. So then I got other things in line if I can get them done in time.
Well, I started Wuthering Heights on Sunday night, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But no, I actually started Saturday night.
You haven't ever read that before? Oh. Is that underscore something that you should have read in high school or college?
No, it's published before 1900.
Yeah.
So, I just figured, oh, well, I haven't really read any Bronte stuff. Maybe I'd like that. And the only thing I know about Wuthering Heights is that there's Heathcliff and Catherine and a depressing place on the moors called Wuthering Heights. So I don't know the whole story like a lot of
There you
these
go.
things where you know the whole story because you've seen variations on it.
Right,
and-
yeah.
yeah. You know, the only variation I saw is there's a Monty Python episode where they're Wuthering Heights done in semaphore, and it's these people with flags on different little hills
Funny.
going, oh, Catherine, oh, Heathcliff. And so that's it.
Oh, funny.
Because Monty Python, you
Yeah.
gotta love them.
Well, I suppose we should talk about some other things that we
I
got here on the
suppose,
table instead
probably.
of books. Oh,
Probably.
although, wait. We have some books here.
We have
We
books.
have a couple of new books. I was going to show you one, but we sold out of it right away.
Right away, it's gorgeous. The Danish traditional
sweaters?
sweaters.
Yeah.
We'll have to get back in because it was fabulous.
But here are a couple of other newish books that I got at the same time. Modern Knits from Sweden. I think there's some cute things on the cover even, on the back.
Yeah.
And then another Swedish thing, Maya's
Fabulous
Swedish mittens. Oh, I just love these mittens. It makes me really want to do my Latvian mitten kit that's on 000s. I mean, kind of makes me want to, kind of doesn't.
Kind
I think I should probably finish my my Fair Isle sweater first.
Probably,
Yeah.
because you're not done with that one yet.
No, I'm not. And I just picked up another project to knit because I really just am not interested in knitting it. I want to wear it. I probably have about 9 inches left of the Fair Isle, and then I would have to cut it and do the sleeves and the neck trim, which I think is just ribbing. I just don't feel like knitting it right now. So,
Someday
someday.
it'll be done.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to show off. This is this month's perk pattern. It is a little cowly thing that,
Here, I'll put it on.
yes, we decided you could wear either points down or points up depending on the look you're going for. But that looks sort of like,
You could put it under your coat.
coat. Yeah, tuck it in your coat, keep
Sorry,
it warm.
Belle.
And
You could turn it sideways.
You
A little
could.
bit.
gives you kind of like that, I'm gonna go rob a bank in the Old West look. So you could do that too. You can use your time machine to go to the Old West and be very fashionable.
Put it on the other way.
Or you could do it this way where it'd be just a little bit more,
I just feel so festive with this jingle bell on.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of like it that way too. 'Cause it gives it a little bit more shape.
Yeah. Anyway,
And you can put it up over your head and have it like weird little.
no, I'm not doing that. They would touch my hair. It's knit on the bias,
It is.
stripes.
And it's
Nice
flat,
knits.
right?
Yeah,
And
I
it's
believe
seam.
so.
There's a seam in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have to be right.
Yeah.
I think.
Isn't that the seam?
No, there's no seam here. Oh.
Well, apparently.
Or maybe she Kitchener stitched it. That
Oh,
that looks like
that
what it is
Kitchener,
here.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
See, that's the advantage of Kitchener. And again, we say
It's by Martina Ben, by the way, and it's
Kitchener?
called. Go ahead.
Kitchener's not hard because it was invented by a man.
It's called the Wood Warbler Cowl.
So anyway, and it's made out of a skein of Stumptown that DK.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stumptown DK from Polka Dot Cheap. And a skein of Pixel from Barocco, so it's kind of fun. You can, you know, this is a little more expensive, this is a little more reasonable, and so you can have kind of a fun little thing. And here's some of the colors that
Okay, I just
I
have to.
put together.
I think.
This one.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I just have to say, so Cecilia picked the yarns that we were gonna show off at the table here to you guys, and she picked the merino-based one for herself.
Well, those are merino based too.
Are they?
It's all merino based. Yeah, it's
Oh,
merino.
you're right. It's merino
linen.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was
So-
just gonna give her a hard time for that.
No,
But, yeah, she
all
had to touch
merino all the
anyway.
time.
All right, so I
anyway, I
really
think
do
it's
like
cute.
that purple version too. I like the green version as well.
Yeah, I just think this is kind of fun. If you were that sort of corally person, I am not a corally person, but there are people who are corally people.
I did buy coral linen for a t-shirt. I mean, for a shirt the other
Did?
day.
Wow. I bought some fabric for, and a pattern for a little, well, it's called like tunic uniform, which is a terrible name for patterns. One of those gray lines.
Oh, it's a uniform tunic, yeah.
Yeah, uniform tunic. So I bought that pattern.
I want that pattern too. Where'd you get it?
I bought it at Twin Cities Quilting.
Oh, okay.
And then I bought some
Maybe
fabric.
SR Harris will have it.
Maybe. I bought some fabric there that are two different prints. I'm going to do the one print on the top, and then I'm going to have the bottom be a different print.
Cool.
They coordinate, and they're kind of a mid-century modern look.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at that
Teals and
pattern
purples.
yesterday, actually. I have so many things to sew. I
Yeah.
almost finished a pair of pants yesterday, but then got sidetracked because I'm planning a trip to Disney World
Disney!
in September with at least one of my children.
It was 104 in Orlando yesterday.
Oh God! No, I've been to Disney World in August before, and it's doable. Here's the thing: it rains like 2 or 3 o'clock every afternoon, so you just go home, go back to your hotel, and you rest. We always stay at the resort because I'm a Disney Vacation Club member, so and we're very close to the Magic Kingdom. So I'll just get on a monorail and go back to the hotel and be there while it's pouring.
I'll say when we went to Disney World, I've only been there once. We stayed at the resort. We did the land sea package. So
Yeah.
we did
The
4
cruise
days,
and the
4
yeah.
days on land and 3 days on the cruise, which I loved. I would do an entire week. I would do like several weeks on the Disney cruise.
The Disney cruise is great. I've done it a couple of times.
It's awesome, and you just get to separate the children, and you could like not see any kids at all.
Yeah.
Just fabulous.
They have great kids programs.
They have, yeah.
Yeah.
The one night we had to go rescue her. Finally, it was like almost 11. I'm like, you know, they haven't paged us yet. Maybe we should go get her. We got on, and Charles goes down and get. This is Serena. Goes down there, and she was 10 maybe, and she comes in here. She's like asleep. He's carrying her back in. And he's, yeah, she was sleeping with her head in some macaroni, so I had to try and get it off before. She was gluing macaroni on one of those projects.
Oh,
So it was like, she had some macaroni glued on her face. I got it off.
If you ever go and find me on Goodreads, my profile pic is me with Goofy on one of the cruise ships. Yeah.
So, but we stayed at the resort, and it was totally. We stayed at, what was that, the Dixieland or something?
Yeah,
like that.
I
It was
know,
like
all sorts of them. I don't-
it was on the water because we couldn't do the monorail, so we did the little boat. They boat us in,
Mhm, yeah.
which was fun.
I haven't ever done the boat. I've done the boat. We stayed at, I don't know if it was Sarasota Springs or a different one where we did the boat to downtown Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never stayed in the ones that are accessed by the monorail, so this will be fun.
That'd be fun.
And so I was going to show you some products that we have here on the table, but I want to talk about Disney for a minute, so sorry. I really want to do a behind the scenes tour, and I found one. It's
Ooh.
5 hours long.
Wow.
They don't have any shorter ones for the behind the scenes at the Magic Kingdom, which talks about the history and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But they do have a 7-hour one. I think what I'm going to do for my son who's going, for sure, my daughter may go, one of my sons is going. I
think I'm going to text him and say, okay, do you want to do the 5-hour tour or the 7-hour tour? Or I'm just going to sign us up. I mean, I did say, is it okay for us to do a tour? And he said, yeah, whatever you want.
Oh,
But
man.
we get to go in the tunnels underground.
That would be awesome.
I'm so excited.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I would be excited
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
when
know,
I-
maybe he'll decide he wants to go and work at Disney World for a while.
Yeah, and they don't make them share underwear anymore. So.
No, they don't.
So that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. And we're going to be there. We're leaving on his birthday. So I made reservations at a couple of restaurants, and I think I got to call him back. We always go to the hibachi restaurant in Epcot. It's just kind of a tradition that we have when we go down there. And so I made a reservation. It's called Tebanito. I made a reservation there on the night before his birthday, and since we're leaving the next day, I think I'm going to call him back and say, hey, we're celebrating your birthday.
Yeah.
So that they can do
Have
something
something
fun.
fun. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah, I think so too. Anyway, I'm excited. He's flying from Denver and I'm flying from here, and so I'll get there a little bit earlier than him. Maybe I can
Yeah.
do something fun on my own. And then I think the first night that we're there, he'll get there by about 6. I think we're going to maybe go over to Universal Studios, so we can do the Harry Potter World
Yeah.
that evening. We'll just make an evening of it. It's a Saturday night, so I'm sure they'll be open late.
Yeah.
And then the next few days, all Disney all the time.
Sounds awesome. Yeah.
And maybe Emily will go or not. I don't know. She just started a new job, so she's not really sure she can get out of it.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. I told my oldest son, and his wife, who can't go, that I would go again.
Yeah.
So,
You've done many times.
Maybe next spring or next fall, I'll go with those guys.
Yeah.
Kid won't go.
Yeah.
So there
Stay
you go.
home.
Okay, so other products. We just got a Milo by Manos.
It's beautiful.
I'm just going to have to do a few colors at a time. We've got 8 colors, and I can't hold them all in my hands. So it's a merino linen blend, DK weight. You can see it's got a little fuzz to it. That's the linen, I believe, that's popping off. We have a trunk show of garments
These
in right
garments
now.
are.
Yeah.
I think this one's really pretty. The little short rows in there.
This is obviously the variegated. This one's got some variegated and
The solid.
The solid. And this is actually, of all the garments that they sent us, is the only color that we have. We have a bunch of other colors. Here's some more.
We can order.
We can order any of the
You know-
colors. Here's another cowl from it. Look at that beautiful lace.
Yeah.
It shows up really well in this yarn.
Yeah, I think the stitch definition is
Yeah.
awesome.
So,
And there's more garments. I just grabbed a few of them.
Yeah,
So
they sent like 10 or
yeah,
something. I
there's
don't
a
know.
lot of them. So
I'm
kinda
not really
looking
sure
over.
how long we have them. I just sent them an email on Saturday to say, can you remind me when we have to ship this back?
Yeah.
I have it, I know it at least goes through this weekend, but I think maybe we have it through the end of the month. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Anyway,
And I'd like to say, Manos is in Uruguay. Hope I'm saying that right because
Yeah.
I'm not great at stuff like that. But next spring, they are actually having a little tour. And if you want to go on their website, you can look it up. That you can go to Uruguay, tour their facility, do some other stuff,
Really
and then
cool.
you get to go around the city and out into the country, I believe. I don't know. It's a tour. I would do it in a heartbeat if I had the monies. So,
also,
but I think it sounds like total fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure.
How great would that be to be able to go and going into a yarn factory? I have been to the Green Mountain Spinnery in Vermont, and it's just a teeny tiny little mill. It's really cool. I mean, you go in and you kind of see all the operation and the machines, and I do love machinery. So, and I love factories. I will go into any factory tour anywhere. I tried to convince my husband and my daughter, who was 16 at the time when we went to Vermont, to go to the kazoo factory, and they were like, absolutely not. I'm like, but kazoos. So the compromise, Serena did not come with us to the spinnery, but Charles did come because it was on the freeway, so it was easy to get there. But it was, and also they have middle ends there you can buy. So I bought an entire bag of one of the Green Mountain Spinnery's yarn.
That sounds like fun.
It was a blast, and they're very nice people, and I'm sure the Manos people are very nice too. When we've met people, they're lovely.
Yeah.
And so if you've got some money and you want to go to Uruguay next summer, or next spring I think it is, check them out.
Yeah. Also, I should give a little background on Manos. They've been around, I don't remember when they started, but they've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And the idea that it's a women's cooperative, so it's the idea behind it is to help women in Uruguay support their families and themselves. And they have little cooperatives around the country where groups of women work together to produce the yarn. I'm not sure how that works, but they must gather. I don't know all the details. That's what the tour is for.
Yeah.
But I love that. They're a fair trade organization, so
Everyone's paid a livable wage.
exactly. So
Which is important in
it's
this
really
world.
good. Yeah,
You know?
without a doubt.
Yep. So
So
I would totally knit with that if it wasn't merino.
we looked at some other stuff there, but I think it was all merino based, wasn't it?
Most of what they do is merino based, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but,
Wow, and I had this conversation with somebody over the weekend in the store about why is there so much merino? I mean, yes, it is the softest, but and we've talked about this on here before, you lose something, you
Yeah.
know? It's the softest, but it makes it less sturdy,
yeah,
so,
so it's less durable.
yeah, like the Targhee that we have here is, in the blue-faced Leicester, they're less soft, but they're more durable.
Yeah.
I think blue-faced Leicester is softer than the Targhee. But,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I love them both.
Yeah.
I subscribe to Acorn, which is a streaming service. It's like $5 a month, and you can watch all the weird British shows you like. Mainly, I wanted to do it because they always have the Midsummer Murders before anybody else, and that's like one of all-time favorite shows in the world. But lately, and I find a show on there, and then I just watch all of them.
Yeah.
You know.
You binge watch.
Yeah, and much to Charles's chagrin, because sometimes he's like, "Oh God, is this show still going on?"
Believe me, I know, because I do that at home too. So.
But I discovered the Yorkshire Vet, which takes place. It's a reality show, is what it is,
Oh, okay.
and it takes place in Thirsk, which is the village James Herriot had his practice in.
Oh, cool.
And this is in fact the same practice that Harriet worked at.
Oh, cool.
And so like the older vet there worked with James Herriot,
Yeah.
which is a pen name. I can't remember his real name. But so
they
they're,
were all creatures great and small, all things bright and beautiful.
Yeah. and
There are 4 of them, I think.
so it's very, it's a rural community. And so watching it, and they're a rural community veterinary place, so they have big animals and small animals they
Right.
deal with. And so, like, one week they might be dealing with a cow who's having problems giving birth, and then someone's little pet rat has a tumor. So it's like, it's like all the things in between. But it reminds me of when I was a kid, and the
Yeah.
vet would come out, and because the only time the vet came is if there was a serious issue with
Right.
the cows, and it was usually birth related, because
Yeah.
normally
I remember
they,
those days when I lived on a farm.
and then
Yeah.
they'd have to go in and turn it and make
Yeah.
sure that they could get it out. Although in the show, they will actually do an emergency cesarean, which I never saw growing up, but it's a thing.
One of my cows had a breech birth, and both calves were lost.
So
It was
yeah,
sad.
Yeah, yeah, and so and sometimes, they lose an animal and it is sad, but it's a great little show, and it just reminds me so much of living in the country that I adore it. And Charles would be like, oh man, this is kind of gruesome. I'm like, dude, this is just life. This is, sometimes things need to be. There's a lot of castrations because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Kind
of like Call the Midwife, and some people don't want to watch that because they have the birthing scenes, But this is real.
Yeah, this is real.
That sounds like a great show. I want to watch it.
You should, because
I wanted to be a vet.
That would have been good for you.
Yeah.
You would have been a good vet.
Maybe.
I think you would have been a very good vet.
I don't know. I gave up on
faith
it.
in you.
Yeah. I'm a good yarn store owner.
You are a good yarn store owner. Terrible boss, but a good yarn store owner.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can't be everything.
So our winner for last episode has a very interesting name on YouTube, and so I don't know who you are. You'll have to send me. I'll put a message under your message saying that you won, and then you'll have to let me know who the heck you are. But it's Freeze Babe's Fiber Frolic. So
That's
Freeze
awesome.
Babe, you've won.
Yay, Freeze Babe.
And
Way to go.
next time we're going to give away these 2 lovely skeins of Sulcanina.
Yes.
These were donated by our Euro Yarns rep, Janine.
She's the
They're
best.
from Mirasol. So just leave a comment on our YouTube channel underneath the info and stuff. Also, I just made arrangements with Corey Eichelberger to come and do her shawl inspiration, where she brings 50 to 60 shawls that she's made. She talks about, how to wear them, interesting things about the pattern, if she made any changes. It's just apparently really fun. She came and did her sweater inspiration once a couple of years ago, and it was a lot of fun. And then you can try them on afterwards and stuff like that. And she's coming, and I did not write the date down. I think it's October 3rd, which is our anniversary.
Yes.
So, so keep that in mind. It's not up on the website yet. Maybe later this week, or maybe next week. I don't know, before September 1st for sure. So keep that in mind.
Mark the calendars.
Yeah, other than that, I don't have any upcoming events or anything, so.
Nope, I don't have any upcoming events either.
Yeah.
We have some trunk shows that'll be coming in this fall, so keep your eyes peeled.
That's such a gross saying. It's like, no, I don't want to peel my eye.
Wow, way to be really
Hey,
pedantic.
you were time at horror stories. It just fits in.
Oh, you're funny
Yeah.
looking.
I was going to say, the looks aren't everything.
I
right.
suppose we should let these people go.
Yeah, probably. Because, it's 45 minutes, so, just like always. And, but there was the extra stuff from before I remembered that we didn't put the
microphone
in. So it's longer.
Yeah, long this week. Lucky
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Well, that's good because it has to last you a month.
That's right.
Watch it in segments. Rewatch it.
Yeah.
Share it with your friends.
Absolutely.
Have a party. I don't know.
A viewing party.
Viewing party, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if the Vikings are losing in their home opener, you can just put this on instead.
When is the home opener?
I don't know, sometime in September. It'd be on my calendar.
See, because Vikings colors.
Yeah.
All right.
Preseason just started.
Yeah. We'll see you guys.
Bye.